Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha if you're new here, and thank you for clicking on today's video. So today we are finally gonna be doing my whole semaglutide journey recap. So if you guys are new here, quick recap. I got on semaglutide in October, this past October 2024. I was on it until like mid-January 2025. So I was on it for about 3 months and I lost 30 pounds in that 3 months. So if you guys are new here and you're interested in that journey and you just want to see more of like the day-to-day of that journey, I vlogged the entire thing. I vlogged the entire 14 weeks that I was on semaglutide. If you guys are interested, I'll have the entire playlist linked up here. I also did a couple other sit down videos as well, but every video related to that is in that playlist. So feel free to watch. I take you through week 1 with all the initial symptoms and initial feelings, all the way to the end to where I hit my goal of 30 pounds. So again, check that out if you guys are interested in more of like the day-to-day, because I vlogged almost every single day on it, which is crazy. But in this video, I just kind of wanted to do just like an entire journey, just like quick little recap to really end it off. If you guys are new here, make sure that you subscribe. Of course, I'm not on the medicine anymore, but I still share vlogs where I'm still trying to show like what I eat and workouts and just lifestyle stuff. So if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe. Also, some of the times when I do a sit down video, people in the comments, like not a lot, but every now and again, people will be like, you talk too fast. I talk fast. I'm so sorry. There's really nothing I can do about it. I can like think to slow down, but then once I get going, I get going. There is an option on YouTube if you need to slow down the speed, okay? I'm not changing how I talk. I'm so sorry. Or people just are like, I can't watch this video because of this. I'm like, if you don't like the way I talk or you don't like the way I structure my videos, just don't fucking watch it. That's all I have to say on that. Just don't fucking watch. Go watch somebody else. So now let's get into the video. Okay, so let's talk about why I started the medicine. I have been someone who yo-yoed with weight loss for years. So many years. I would lose 20 pounds, gain 30, lose 15, gain 20, lose 20, gain 10. Like I just always was just gaining and losing and gaining and losing and just yo-yoing. And then just like in the recent like year and a half, I'm so sorry. It is so freaking windy outside. I feel like you guys can probably hear it. It's like really, really intense wind right now. Hopefully you guys can hear it. It just got to the point where I was just like for the last year and a half, just kept saying I wanted to lose weight. But like, I wasn't even getting on the yo-yo. Like I would maybe lose like 5 pounds, but like I just like couldn't get there. And it was just so beyond frustrating. I didn't know what to do. And I never thought I would be someone that would take like a GLP-1, but here we are. We took it, we loved it, it worked. Spoiler alert, it worked. I just was like, I just want something to help me and just like aid me through this process. I just really wanted to lose weight. And to be fully transparent, it was mostly vain. I just wanted to just like look better and just feel better when I looked in the mirror. Of course, there are other benefits as far as like health goes, not having as much extra fat and being overweight, but it really was just so I could look in the mirror and feel better. Another main reason is because I recently got married in September. If you guys want to see my wedding vlog, I'll have it linked up here, or my wedding video. I have always wanted to be a mom. I've always wanted to have a baby. I've always wanted to get pregnant and have a baby, but like I wanted to wait until I was married. And then as soon as we got married, I got my IUD out. And if you watched my first video in my semaglutide journey video, I literally got my IUD out the same day that I started the shot. Really just was like, let's just torture myself today. Another main reason, again, still kind of vain, but I knew, and again, losing weight can help aid with being able to get pregnant and things like that. But when I thought about being pregnant at my heaviest weight, but just looking in the mirror and just feeling so disgusted with myself, I could not imagine having to like gain more weight on top of that while being pregnant. Like I was like, I already feel so insecure. I can't imagine. I could not imagine gaining that much weight while also being at my heaviest. So I really was like, I want to lose weight. So when I do get pregnant, like I love a bump. I think bumps are so cute. And I was like, when I have a bump one day, I want to be able to see it. I didn't want it to be hidden by fat. And I didn't want to just feel like just huge and just big. Like I wanted to look pregnant, like have a pregnant belly, not just like a big belly. So that was also a big motivator for me, because I was like, okay, we're getting down to the wire where like I'm wanting to like start that chapter of my life. And I kind of really don't feel good about myself right now. And I didn't want to make myself feel worse. Like I wanted pregnancy to be like a beautiful experience. And I didn't, when I think about it, I was like, I did not want to, like I said, I didn't want to feel just like uncomfortable also while being pregnant. So that was like another big thing. Again, it comes down to looks to be fully transparent. But again, there are other like benefits that go along with it, like health wise. So that's kind of like the why and why I decided to get on this journey. I was also back at the heaviest weight I had ever been at. And everybody in my comments is always like, how much did you weigh? How much did you weigh? How much did you weigh? I never shared my actual numbers, but today we're gonna share the numbers. So my starting weight was 185 pounds. So obviously when I completed the journey, my weight was at 155 pounds. And I was just like happy to just be able to maintain that. But yeah, that's the big question has been like, how much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? Like everyone's obsessed with the number. So there's your answer. But yeah, I was like, that was back to like the heaviest that I had been. And I was like, again, thinking about getting pregnant and being like over 200, not saying there's anything wrong with you if you are, but I was like, I just knew what that would do to like my mental health. And I was like, I can't do that. So yeah, that's my why. That was a long ramble of my why, but this is my channel and I can ramble if I want. So obviously when I started, I didn't know how long it was gonna take, but again, my ultimate goal was to lose 30 pounds. And I didn't know how long it was gonna take. I was hoping I would be off of it by like February or March. That was really my goal. And then luckily I finished it in January. So I was really happy about that. Okay, so let's talk about now. I have the medicine, we're starting the medicine. How are we feeling? So I did experience quite a few symptoms, especially the first like 2 to 3 weeks. I took the shot on a Friday night and then like by the next morning, I was already feeling it. And I know some people have been like, that's just the placebo effect. And I'm like, I don't care what it was, I was feeling it. I woke up, I was like feeling like a little nauseous and like already the next day, I was already like not having cravings, like not being able to eat as much. And I was feeling great. Like I loved it. I like didn't know how I was gonna feel about like working out and things like that. But like I just started off so strong and just so motivated. Like I was ready to go. I had my like, that's it, I'm ready moment. And I started off like, I was like, we were going on extra walks. I immediately got into a workout routine. Like I was so excited. But yeah, initial symptoms was feeling some nausea. I never threw up or anything, but I did have some nausea, did have some pretty strong food aversions. It's funny, like a lot of the things, like the dinner that I ate the night that I started my shot, me and Cody ate it. We got this like chicken skewers from Aldi and this rice. And I was like, this is amazing. It was so inexpensive. We should make this like every week. I don't know what happened, but like ever since I had it that one time and the thought of it, even to this day, makes me sick. Like I think about it and it makes me want to throw up. So it kind of ruined a few random meals that I had right around that time, very randomly. Yeah, I did have some food aversions. My cravings did go away. Like I really wasn't craving things. I'm a person that always like needs dessert. I always need something sweet, but like I really wasn't craving sugar. I did feel fatigue for I think the first 2 weeks. I was pretty tired. So it was kind of hard to get through. But yeah, I think that was like the worst of it. But like I said, after like the first 2 to 3 weeks, I really didn't have any symptoms. Like even I got to the point like on shot days, like I know some people say like on the shot day and the day after they might feel nauseous and things like that. I didn't really have that experience. After like the 3rd week, I would just take my shot. And even sometimes I would take it, like I don't do this, take it with food in your stomach, but a lot of the time I would take it on an empty stomach and like I felt fine. I didn't have any other like side effects or anything. So yeah, few symptoms early on. And then as we got out of those first initial weeks of just like, you know, your body adjusting to it and everything like that, I got used to it. And I started on 10 units. After about 3 weeks, I upped it to 20 units. And that is actually where I stayed the rest of my journey. I know I had like some people concerned in the comments that like, I was increasing too soon and everything like that. To me, I felt like I was ready to, like I felt like I was like feeling pretty full for about like 4 days. And then like the last 3 days, I was like, my hunger was like kind of ramping back up. And I just wanted to feel mostly like consistent throughout the entire week. So once I ramped up to the 20 units, that was like my sweet spot. I didn't go over it. Like I never maxed out the dose. I didn't go too high. I was like, I knew my goal and what I would recommend is like find the number or the units that work for you and stay there. Like you don't have to take the max. Just find, once you get to a point where it's working for you, you're consistently losing weight, you're able to control your cravings, like you feel good, just stick there. And then if it starts to wear off or you're on it for a while and you feel like you need to increase, then maybe. But yeah, find the number that works for you and stick to it. And I will say that made the weaning off process so much easier because I just really wasn't taking that much. So it made weaning off 10 times easier. So let's talk about progress and milestones. So I started noticing changes pretty quickly. And I do want to preface this. I've tried to say it in a few videos, like everybody's body responds differently to different things. Your body responds differently to medicine. So my journey might not be yours. I've had people comment that like they've been losing weight a lot slower. I've had people comment that they lost 50 pounds in 3 months. Everyone's body is just different, and that is okay. I don't want anybody to like watch my journey or hear my story and feel like their journey isn't like they're not having a successful journey or it's not working for them. Like if you're steadily losing weight, losing even a pound a week is better than losing no pounds a week or gaining a pound a week, you know? Don't look at my numbers and compare it to yours. And always talk to your doctor. But yeah, I started noticing changes pretty immediately. The first week I lost 5 pounds. And then from there, I really was losing 2 to 3 pounds a week, usually 2, but sometimes 3. But like every single week I was losing 2 to 3 pounds. And within the first maybe like 3 weeks is when I started noticing, okay, my pants are like a little looser, this is a little looser. When I was taking my side-by-side pictures, I was just like noticing I wasn't as like round. So I really started noticing differences around there. Like, and then the first place I really noticed and what I saw in a lot of the comments was my face. Like, especially if I compare it to like the first day, like I just had, my face was so round and I had like a double chin. And I was very insecure about that. And then now I have more of like a heart-shaped face, or like, I don't know, just more face, like more of a structure to my face, not just like round. But that was the first thing that I had noticed was my face. And then I just started noticing like, again, clothes starting to fit a little less, or clothes starting to fit better. And I definitely recommend taking progress photos. I did do weigh-ins just to like see how much I was losing, but the progress photos really were the best because just seeing day one and comparing that each week and just seeing the differences really like gave me like a boost just to be able to see that, because it's just like right in front of your face. Like the numbers are one thing, but just seeing your body change like that was really satisfying and motivating. So if you aren't taking progress photos, definitely do that. I do wish I took measurements. I'm too lazy. That's all it is. I would think about it, but I'm too lazy to do that. But that's also another really great way to measure things that aren't just like the number on the scale, especially if you're someone that's like lifting weights and, you know, doing other things like the scale. I'm not someone that's like, I don't get obsessive with the scale. I know some people really get obsessive with the numbers, and if they see like if their weight went up 0.2 pounds, it like ruins their day. So if you're someone like that, definitely find some other ways to track your progress. And also remember that progress is not linear. It's up and down, it's a roller coaster. It's not like no one's weight loss is ever just like, even mine, like I'd have some days where I'd be like, oh, like after like 2 days, I'd notice it was like up 0.5 pounds, and then it always would balance out. But like if you base it off of like every single day, you'll drive yourself crazy. But yeah, pretty much, like I said, I was on it for 3 months and I lost 30 pounds. So right around 10 pounds a month-ish is kind of where it was at. And I felt really good about it. I didn't feel like I was starving myself. I felt like I was still eating. I was tracking calories. I used the app Lose It. So I was tracking my calories just to make sure that I wasn't overeating. I was eating anywhere in like the 13 to 1500 range. And I will say early on in the journey, the first like 3 weeks while I was having all those symptoms, it was more of a battle to make sure I was eating enough, because like I had no appetite. Like there were some days where my calories at the end of the day would be like 700. And I'm like, no, you're gonna eat something. I don't know what, like a banana. Like I was like, we have to eat things. We have to at least get to like 1200 minimum. But I really tried to eat like 1300 to 1500, especially after those first few weeks. I like 14 to 1500 was really like my sweet spot throughout the journey. But I definitely recommend tracking calories, again, if you're someone that's not going to get obsessive with it and it's not going to drive you crazy and like control your life. Weight loss is calories in versus calories out. So I found that tracking calories and even just tracking like macros, like making sure I'm getting enough protein and things like that, really did help. So again, I use the app Lose It, not sponsored, but I love it. It was really inexpensive for like the year subscription. So Definitely recommend that. And then once I got around like halfway throughout the journey, like I feel like once you're doing weight loss, you do notice like the initial weight loss more, because I feel like you see the biggest changes in the beginning, and then after you lose so much, like again, my progress was still going well, like the 2 to 3-ish pounds a week. But I really started focusing on more non-scale victories like halfway through my journey, because again, like the scale was still moving, but like my progress photos, like it wasn't as drastic of a change anymore. And I was like, okay, I need something else to like focus on. So again, I don't drive myself crazy. I loved like putting on clothes every few weeks, like things that were too tight before that didn't fit or maybe just fit. And like every few weeks putting those back on and just feeling them get looser and looser. And then like having a pair of pants that I couldn't even button before that now were too big. That was honestly probably the most satisfying way to track my progress out of anything. I did do a whole video of trying on clothes after I lost 20 pounds. So I'll have that linked up here if you guys want to see that. But honestly, like I said, that is probably the most satisfying way to track, in my opinion, because like I was just like, there's certain pieces of clothes that by the end, I was like, I can't believe 3 months ago, these wouldn't even button, and now like they're too big and like sagging. So definitely try to find some more like, again, non-scale victories to celebrate as well. Okay, now let's talk about just like some like challenges and like adjustments. So luckily I didn't really have like any moments of like a plateau or like any major setbacks throughout my journey. I had a few times where life kind of was beating me up a little bit, and I kind of had to like push through. So one thing that kind of not really set me back, I didn't really make much. I think I lost like 1 pound this week. We went on our honeymoon. We went to like an all-inclusive resort in Jamaica, and I did not track. I did not care. I was eating whatever I wanted, drinking whatever I wanted. I was just having a time, and my goal was to not care. And that was about halfway through my journey. Yeah, like a month and a half into my journey. So at first, like it was like a little bit like of a mental game to be like, okay, you've been on this journey, enjoy your week. This is your honeymoon. You're only gonna hopefully have one honeymoon in your life. Hopefully, Cody. But I was like, enjoy yourself. Don't worry about tracking. Don't worry, even if you go back home and you've gained 2 or 3 pounds, you just go back and pick back up. I told myself I was gonna do workouts while I was there. I did one. Cody went to the gym without me multiple times. I didn't feel like going, so I didn't go. I would be lying if I said that I didn't feel like I'm a little nervous when we got back to see where my weight was. I had lost, I think like 1 pound on that week. And it really showed me, like that was actually really good for me, because it showed me that like you can have an off week and it doesn't necessarily like throw off your whole journey. And like I said, even if I went back and I had gained 2 pounds, if I had just gotten back on it the next week, like I ended up doing, and then just continuing to lose, again, it's just like a nice reminder that like you can have, again, an off week and still not like completely ruin your journey. Because something like that in the past, if I had done a trip like that in the past and just kind of like let loose and went wild and free, I would have came back and it would have been like, there would have been no way I was getting back into a workout routine. I wouldn't have been tracking. It would have been in the mindset of like, you already messed up, so whatever, we'll just start again next month, like whatever. And I know every time I mention that in a video, a lot of people say that they can relate to that mindset of just like, oh, we'll just start over next week, Monday, next month, next year, whatever, wait till the new year. Like you just like have one little like slip up and you just throw the whole thing away. And that was definitely like a big mental shift for me in this journey, was to just not be so black and white thinking all the time. And like I said, having little moments like that where I could see that I don't have to be perfect or tracking every single day or be fully on it or whatever. And like, you can pick back up and get back on the horse. You don't have to throw the whole journey away, gain the 20 pounds back, and then start over a few months later. You can just pick back up and just keep it pushing. So that was really nice to see. Also in the same time, right before we left for the honeymoon, we were in my hometown because my grandma was in the hospital. And while we were in the honeymoon, we found out that she passed. And then we had to go back to my hometown for a funeral. So again, 2 moments, right? Like November really was just a rough month. I am actually genuinely shocked that I still ended up losing weight, because I was just so down and out of it. And the fact that I still managed to lose weight, even though I was definitely more loosey-goosey that month, because like when I was home with my family, I wasn't tracking, I wasn't working out. Then we had the vacation, and then back there again, I was like barely tracking or anything. I was still like trying to be like mindful. Like I'm not trying to like shovel food down my throat all the time. And then when I was home, I was still trying to do my workouts and take the dogs on walks and things like that. But I really wasn't like on it like I was in like October and December and the first half of January, but I still managed to lose the weight. So again, that was also another nice thing. Like even if I'm not, like I said, being perfect all the time and I'm not always tracking and maybe not getting the most workouts, it's like, as long as I'm just being mindful and like, I guess maybe what kind of like intuitively eating, just being more mindful, again, not strict, still eating what I want, but like not overdoing it, I still lost the weight. So again, that was like a nice reminder for me that you don't have to be perfect in order to see progress. My mindset about food and exercise changed so much. I feel like food, I've always loved food, and I feel like it's always been like a love-hate relationship. Like we've always been frenemies. Like I've always loved food, best friend, favorite thing to go to when I'm happy, sad, uncomfortable, stressed out, a big stress eater over here. But then also it would lead to weight gain and overeating and just feeling sick and disgusted with myself. So it definitely had like a love-hate relationship with food. And I feel like throughout this journey, again, just having these different experiences and these different highs and lows, it really like healed my relationship with food. And I used to be a big like binge eater. Like I would like truly like binge, just go in the pantry in the fridge and just keep eating just anything I could. And I haven't had any binging episodes since getting off of the medicine. So that feels really good. So I think my relationship with food has healed, and my relationship with exercise has also changed a lot. I've always been like, whenever I've been in like a true exercise routine, I was always really into it. Like of course, like I love building muscle. I love feeling strong. Like I love like flexing my like leg muscles and seeing like, you know, strong legs and things like that. But I just was never like super consistent long-term with working out. So this just having like, you know, 3.5 months, again, with November being a little wishy-washy, of just being consistent with working out, I've actually grown to really enjoy working out. I really enjoy strength training. I enjoy building muscle. Again, just seeing, you know, seeing muscle within my arms, or starting to see like ab muscles and seeing like leg muscles and work on growing my booty. Like it's just like very motivating, and I just like love the feeling of feeling like strong and like looking more toned. Like I'm someone that has thicker legs, and it used to, even sometimes now, I won't lie, like to be for real, it kind of is an insecurity sometimes, but like when they look big, but like also like you can very clearly see that they're muscular, I love that. So I feel like throughout this journey, it's helped me build a better relationship with exercise as well, where I'm being more consistent. And then again, I'm focusing on other things too that aren't just like this scale. I'm seeing the changes in my body, which is super motivating in itself. I think the biggest lesson that I learned within this journey is the power of consistency, just showing up for yourself day after day after day with trying to make better choices with eating, tracking calories, working out, and just seeing like the building blocks of doing these consistent habits like day after day after day, and then seeing like, you know, fast forward a few months down the road and just seeing the progress that you're able to make just by being consistent. I think that really was like a lesson that I needed, because that's something I've always struggled with, especially specifically in like the health and fitness world, with being consistent. And this journey, especially since I documented the whole thing and I could just see, again, week after week of me putting in the work. And I said it before, I know some people think this is like a cheating and semaglutide is cheating, whatever. But I was like, at the end of the day, you still have to put in work. It's not like a magic medicine that's gonna like melt your weight away without you doing anything. And if you watch my journey, you would see that. So even be able to go back now and just being able to see all of my hard work, but consistency really is key. I think that really was the biggest part and why I was able to lose the weight in the time frame that I did. Okay, so let's talk about like some long-term changes and sustainability. So I feel like I have had like a lot of lifestyle changes ever since being on the medicine and going through this journey. I feel like I've definitely kept up with my eating habits for the most part. I am not tracking anymore. I'm really just trying to be around like maintenance. So again, I'm not tracking. I'm trying to work more on intuitively eating. So eating when I'm hungry. If I have a craving, I'll have it. Sometimes do I overeat still? Yes, I'll have a day if I go out to dinner, or I don't know, sometimes, you know, things happen. Or will I eat 3 Krispy Kreme donuts in a sitting sometimes? Yes, I will. But again, it's not like it was before where it was consistent, like every single day. with just like not great choices and overeating. So I feel like now I'm able to make better choices, and I feel like I was cooking from home a lot more, even if it wasn't always from scratch. I feel like I just started eating at home more. That's something that I've continued to do, is like try to make as many of my meals at home as possible. Again, I still eat out, and I probably still eat out a lot to some people, but to me, I feel like I really do eat at home like 85% of the time, which I think is great. I've continued to exercise. Some weeks I was exercising probably like 5 to 6 times a week throughout the journey. I will say now probably around 4 times a week is kind of where I'm at. And some days, some weeks more and some weeks less, but I would say kind of average around 4 times. But I consistently take the dogs on a walk, and if I can't work out, I still try to take them at least like on a longer walk just to get extra steps in. I feel like it's been a little easier to kind of like maintain some of the habits that I built throughout the journey, which was what I really wanted. And that was like the most important piece. And that's what everybody would say when they were like weaning off, was kind of like, you have to like get these pieces in place before you get off of it, because if you don't build good habits while you're on the medicine, you're not going to have the good habits to maintain it when you get off. So I feel like I've been able to kind of mostly maintain kind of like the diet and exercise throughout the journey. And again, I did say it in the beginning of this video, but I did wean off of it. I know some people stay on and do a maintenance dose long-term, and that's totally fine. I'm here for everyone. Do whatever you think is best for you. I just had been wanting to get off of it, like kind of in like mid-December. I was kind of getting to the point where I was like, I feel like I could finish the journey without it. So I knew as I got into January, I was gonna start weaning off. So once I got into January, or maybe was it end of December or beginning of January? Or right around that time frame, I started to wean off, and then I was gonna wean off for like a month, but I actually only ended up doing it for like 2 weeks, and then I just kind of got off of it. I'm happy with that decision. I plan to stay off of it. But again, if you're someone that feels like you would want to do a maintenance dose for a while, even if it's not forever, like talk with your doctor, do your research, do whatever you think works best for you. Yeah, I personally just knew I didn't want to be on a medication forever. So even starting at the beginning of my journey, I had said that I wanted to wean off once I got to my goal. So that was something that I had known from the beginning that I wanted to do. And yeah, just moving forward, like I said, I just want to continue to just like listen to my body, eat, just really work on not overeating, intuitively eating, being consistent with moving my body and working out, and just, I just want to be the best version of myself. What plan when getting off of it was to just maintain until the time came where I decided to get pregnant and try for a baby. And then when that time comes, we'll have another journey of weight gain, but that'll probably be another journey of just trying to gain a healthy amount of weight during pregnancy and not like overeat or like give into all of those cravings. Like, yeah, I've seen, that's kind of my fear, is like having a bunch of pregnancy cravings or like being super hungry during pregnancy and like reverting back to old behaviors. So that should be interesting, but I'll definitely share that journey with you when the time comes. But yeah, the goal getting off of it was just maintain until it's time to gain weight for pregnancy specifically. Yeah, that's kind of where we are at right now. Final thoughts and advice. My only regret with taking the medicine is that I didn't start it sooner. I wish I started sooner, because I had just been struggling with weight for so long that I was like, if I started sooner, I could have found my results sooner. But I also remind myself that like, I feel like, timing is everything. I feel like I was just actually in a really good headspace by the time I started, like got back from a really big like 3-week trip or 2-week trip, just got married. Like I was just like in a really good headspace. So I really felt like it was like the perfect time for me. And maybe if I started the journey sooner, I wouldn't have been as ready as I was at that point. If you're out there and you are considering getting on a GLP-1 for weight loss, again, I have nothing bad to say about it, but again, everybody's experience is different. So watch my video, watch other people's videos, talk to your doctor, really think about it, because you are injecting a medication into your body on a weekly basis. And like I said, I'm no doctor, so I can't really say how it would work for you or anything like that. But if you want any other like specific tips or advice or anything, I did do a whole video about things you should know before starting semaglutide. So I will have that linked up here if you guys want to have some more specific details like on that. If you're someone that's been thinking about it for a while, you think you're ready, you talked to your doctor, but you're just nervous to pull the trigger and do that first injection, I say do it. It was an amazing experience for me, and it was one of the best decisions that I honestly could have made for myself, because I don't think I could have done it without the help of the medicine just kind of like slowing me down, being like, hey, I think you're full now. We're not really craving that Krispy Kreme or Cinnabon tonight. I at some point I probably could have done it, but like at that time, like I think that really was the best decision for myself. And like I said, if you're already at that point where like, I've had people be like, I have it, I'm just scared to actually inject it, do it. Watch one of my videos where I inject and let's inject together. But what's next for the channel? I know I had talked about, you know, sharing like maintenance journey and things like that. And I haven't done that, but there will be an update coming to my channel soon and it'll kind of explain everything. So that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, that is all I have for this final semaglutide journey video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you guys again in another video. All right, bye guys.
Oh, I can't let him take my soul. Nah, 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 no. I can't let him take my soul.